Hello all benders and non-benders, and welcome back to Avatar Generations, and today we're going to be covering the 1.12 patch notes. This is what has brought us the current Generations Festival that is going on right this second. And there are some stuff to talk about, some very cool stuff to talk about. Before we get started, if you have not already, please like the video and subscribe. Definitely helps me out a lot as the channel continues to grow along with this very, very fun game. So, let's get into it here. We do have some adventure map changes, the mountain pass battle environment polish, improved environments there with that one, nothing too crazy. Next, the new event dungeons feature. That is the event going on right now with Peace Zuko and Peace Iroh. Event dungeons are a new feature accessible from the home screen once a player reaches level 5. This game mode allows you to engage with limited time, standalone battles to experience unique stories and earn exclusive rewards. This is basically their answer to being able to cover other episodes without necessarily having to build an environment for every single one. Event dungeons are limited time and will only be available for the scheduled time frame. Event dungeons can be exclusive and will not be available in the future. So, what this is saying is that there's a very real chance this is the only time we'll see it. So go for it now. Make this your priority if you have not already. We're going to talk about that in a future video. But basically, they're saying these are a limited thing. Enjoy them while they're here because they ain't going to come back most likely. Next, of course, we do have some banners. These two are already here. The Awakened event banner for those materials. And of course, the Peace Chaos banner with Zuko and Iroh. After that, though, we do have a limited hero banner. Those are usually the 200 event ticket banners to get to Pity. Those are a little bigger, but usually a little more special. So I'll be very curious to see what that entails. No hints on that right now. I have no clue what's coming, so we'll just have to wait and see. Next, we do have the Blades of the Rebellion added to the 4-Star Nations banner. If you do happen to summon on that at all, you do have a chance of getting that. That is a Swordmaster relic. New event challenges added, of course. We've already looked through those. If you haven't already, watch my previous video on the whole Generations Festival. We broke it down in detail, and I am still winded from that puppy. So a lot going on there. Next, new heroes and relics. Good old Pirate Man has been added to the summon shop as well as his Call of Freedom relic. If you missed out on him, he is a fantastic waterbending character who can do a lot for your team. He's a Kyoshi timeline powerful opponent character. He is fantastic. They have also added the Fire Nation Pirate, or Fifth Nation Pirate. He's a firebender. That's why I said Fire Nation. Fifth Nation Pirate offense has been added to the timeline shop. So if you do have some spare timeline currency there, you can access that. And then the Frozen Pledge relic has been added to the timeline shop as well. Next, we do have some quality of life features. The damage formula has been updated to slightly increase the mitigation percentage of the defensive stat. I've said it before, for a while now, defense has just kind of been alternate attack. Because they nerfed it pretty good. They nerfed it pretty good. Now they're going to crank it back up just a little bit so that it actually is a defensive stat, which it has not been doing very well lately. Next, Kyoshi's Vengeance State. The chance to revenge is increasing from 25% to 35%, now only counterattacks once per turn. I imagine that this is meant to prevent her from going full nutty on characters that hit more than once. Characters like Blue Spirit come to mind, where his basic attacks 4 times. I imagine this is to prevent her from attacking 4 times in response and doing something just crazy there. And then a new icon for the bleed status. Very cool stuff there. We do have some hero tuning here. First of all, Moonslayer Zhao. Decrease the base duration of Red Moon from 2 down to 1. This is a biggie. This is a serious biggie. That means when he puts somebody down, if you're a skill level 1, each enemy that gets the Red Moon, it's only going to last for 1 turn. They'll shake that off quick. And then, of course, if you're working with a skill level 6 Zhao, that goes down from 4 to 3. Not quite as bad. It's really the skill level 1 Zhaos that are getting massively hurt here. But that does still affect even the max level Zhaos. Not quite as much, because 3 turns is still a long time. That's a lot of time for him to be running wild. But just kind of something to keep in mind is that it's not going to last quite as long. Next, we do have decrease his missing HP damage from 1 to 0.8 on his basic, and then that same stat is decreased from 1.5 to 1 on his advanced, with the skill damage multiplier being reduced from 1.5 to 1.4. So Zhao, he's gotten hit a little bit. It's the Red Moon duration that's really going to affect him, but he is getting just some slight damage tweaks as well. I don't think we need to worry too much. I think Moonslayer Zhao is still going to do plenty of damage. Now, he might be getting some meta competition, we'll see with Peace Zuko, but I don't think we'll have any trouble getting use out of Zhao. Next, we do have the 5th Nation Pirate Mind character. This is the special element one. His speed stat was increased a little bit, always nice. Passive now increases the speed of all 5th Nation allies at the start of battle for 1 turn. So he got a little bit of a buff there to support his team. Very cool, very cool. We do have Juro here, decrease his basic skill damage from 1 to 0.7. Fair enough, fair enough. He was doing some pretty nutty damage. And then Goro here, reduced his basic skill power from 1 to 0.75. And then his advanced skill power from 1 to 0.09. Just a little bit of a damage nerf just to kind of bring him back in line, because this dude could do some damage too. A combination of him and either Moonslayer Zhao or the Warden was doing some pretty crazy stuff. Next, we do have Prisoner Katara. Grant immunity to speed decreasing effects to outlaw allies for 1 turn at the start of battle. This will kind of counter things like the Warden's Tower. As we'll see very soon, it's had a little bit of a tweak as well. Basically, they're not going to be able to have their speed decreased. We do have, of course, Wolf Cove Sokka here. Grant immunity to speed decreasing effects to Team Avatar and Invasion Force allies. If I'm correct, this is the 5-star variant of normal Sokka. And then Pirate Man will now only counterattack once per turn. Yes, thank you, because I don't know about y'all guys, I got nuked by an AoE Pirate Man once or twice. Yeah, it was rough. Next, we do have some Relic Tuning. We got some big names getting mentioned in these patch notes here, starting with the Warden's Tower. The Warden's Tower is adjusted to inflict speed down debuff, that's an important note here, on all enemies for 2 turns. When the caster enters pot of stance or state, the speed down value is still equal to 30%, but now is a debuff that can be blocked by immunity and cleansed. Note that this has been updated in the initial post to no longer ignore resistance. On the Discord, they did have a post stating it would ignore resistance. Now they're saying it will not. If you want that speed debuff, you gotta be able to beat their resistance, and they need to not have immunity because it is now a regular debuff. It does still have the turn meter. The turn meter is definitely something they wanted to have in the Warden's Tower, but now you might not outrun them because they might resist the speed. Very interesting note there. Next, the Beach Umbrella. We all saw this coming. We all saw this coming. Decrease the base attack, increase effect from 10% to 5%, and the attack stat increase now lasts for 2 turns. So decrease to 5% and no longer permanent. Let's not forget, the Beach Umbrella is a 4-star relic that was doing more than most 5-star relics could even dream of doing. So, yeah, I think this is fair. And keep in mind, once again, the turn bar effect is still in play, which is really the biggie. The turn bar effect still works. So, it's a nerf, but not... It really does bring it back in line to the fact that it is a 4-star relic. Let's keep it real here. Next, we do have a fix for the Warden. His match level 3 was entering counter stance earlier than intended. Always good. Fix for Juro HP stacking infinitely with contingency stance. Yeah, that could get a little nuts because that 50% was not going away. Fix an issue where damage transferred from skills and statuses was not properly reduced. Fix an issue where Chaos Zuko would lose his inner flame if the enemy already had the fire element applied on them. Fix an issue where some attacks would not properly ignore defense. Updated text for the Spirit Water Amulet Relic. Fix for Pirate Man not gaining increased damage. Well, we wouldn't want that now, would we? Fix for Invader Zuko gaining the incorrect amount of crit rate. Fixed for Haru getting defensive effects before taking damage. Yeah, I noticed that one. I noticed that one once or twice. And then fixed for his passive triggering imbalance of power relics shield healing when attacking. Then finally do have a fix for Shackled Hope not triggering when the enemy with the tier 2 fire debuff is killed. I forget what that relic is. I think... I'm not sure what the Shackled Hope relic is, but I guess it's fixed now. So for those of you using Shackled Hope, congratulations. And then finally, some fixes with the event challenges, because that was very broken a while ago. Some fixes with purchase limits, some fixes with some issues on the ability tooltips, and then fixes on some stats in Arena. So that's what we have. Some pretty serious notes in terms of character balancing, but kind of needed. Zhao, there's doing damage, and then there's doing an unholy amount of damage, and he was doing an unholy amount of damage, and the Beach Umbrella especially, as much fun as that bad boy has been, it is a 4-star relic. It needed to be tweaked just a little bit. But that is what we have. Let me know down below what you think of this patch notes, if you think that these were some really good things, or maybe you've noticed some new bugs since this update. That seems to happen every now and then. Let me know down in the comments below, and we shall see you next time. Have a good one.